camps, and we're going to keep it in Major League Baseball, where Carlos Correa obviously going to be out for a little bit. 6 to 8 weeks is what we're hearing with that torn ligament in his thumb. Houston GM Jeff Luhnow is confident that Correa will still be a contributor for a stretch run in September. That said, Tyler, do you think the Astros are still the best bet to win the AL pennant?
I do. I would still, if gun to my head, who's going to win the pennant, I'll say the Astros. If I'm looking for a little bit better value, I'll take the Indians, because I do think one of those two teams is going to represent the American League in the World Series. But I do think, gun to my head right now, even though the odds aren't the best with the Astros at 21 to 10, you get the 3 to 1 with the Indians. I will take the Astros, and here's why. Carlos Correa being out for 6 to 8 weeks does not carry over into the postseason. He'll come back sometime in September and get his rhythm and timing back as we get ready for the postseason. With Correa out, who is playing at an MVP caliber level, they still have the most ferocious and feared lineup in maybe all of baseball. You still have George Springer, you still have Jose Altuve, you still have Carlos Beltran, Yuli Gurriel, Brian McCann, Marwin Gonzalez is having a career year. You have Alex Bregman as well, who might see some more ABs and is still considered a bright young star in the making. He played shortstop at LSU. Gonzalez can play shortstop as well, so they have the bats to fill in defensively at that position. No one is as good as Correa defensively, but that offense is still going to click and hum like it always has, even with Correa out. They get Dallas Keuchel back soon. He's on rehab assignment. Lance McCullers will slot back to number 2 and be very good. And they have a farm system, LB, that is loaded with young talent to wheel and deal. Now, Jeff Luhnow and this team, this organization, have built themselves into a contender, not by trading away these pieces, but by drafting and developing. But now that the window is open, if they decide to dip into this prospect list, they can deal for more starting pitching, or maybe even better yet, some bullpen help, which they could use to really fortify this roster. So I see the Astros perfectly primed right now to take a bite out of the apple. And I expect them to be mildly aggressive here as we approach July 31st and use 1 or 2 of those names to fortify the roster. But Carlos Correa missing time, that sucks because he's great and fun to watch. This team, though, has the depth of talent to weather that storm.
Yeah, it was interesting when Dallas Keuchel went out with his injury. Everybody thought, all right, well, the Astros might not be done. They got a good lead there,
right,
but, you know, we're going to see them falter, and they really haven't.
No, they've grown
that lead.
And
it seems maybe that'll still be the case with Carlos Correa. Never good to have two big stars out, but like you said, they seem locked and loaded, and they're stacked from top to bottom.